Hello, YouTube. Some more ranked games today. Slightly different today, at least. Got two Mihawk games and then a Teach game. Um, and this first Mihawk game shows a little bit of a different game than it normally goes. So, at least a little bit of a change up in that regard. Yeah. It's a decent hand. Don't have promo obviously, but if we can find Rosie Law, we can still play that on 5 into Black Rope, Dragon Twister, whatever you want to call the card. So we found Rosie Law, so now we know we don't have a play this turn. Still just gonna play stage. Assume I take another stage here actually, trying to find a Sokka. Yeah, I mean I could probably win 6, but they're always taking the first life, so I'll just win 5 and then see if we find anything else we want. We don't necessarily like Rosie Law wouldn't be a bad take here. Um, just to try and find like a Whip Law or a 2K Law. Both of those would be good, but that's our third Rosie Law. I'm pretty sure. I think we just bombed that one. I'm already forgetting because I wasn't paying a ton of attention. Um, but also we're trying not to have too many weenies for the event to be live. So decided to just take the Rosie Law, and then he's actually this is probably not too relevant. Like I don't think they're trying to starve me, and again it's like probably not too relevant. Like they're probably not actually gonna starve that often, if ever. But in case it ever comes up, I don't think it ever becomes the meta to do it. But if you ever have someone trying to do it, and even if it's not this matchup, just in general, because there's some matchups that might, you can kind of see how I decide to play it when I get starved. I think I do just decide to free block this. Like, you know, I think that's technically a mistake, because if they, because it just like makes it hard for this event to be live, I should just let this die to make sure my event's live. Because if they go, in my mind, they go Mihawk, play 2 and then it's still live, but if they go this line it's not necessarily live, right? Because it's 2 to 2. um but do get lucky and he replays the Kingdom on, so it ends up working out. Now we still have the weenie, so that's cool. I think theoretically should just let that die just to ensure the event's live to play around 6 law, because he was only able to replay the weenie because it was exactly Smoker, right? um but the Smoker is sideways, so instead of playing the 6 drop, I decide we can just save that for next turn, and then I'll just Sokka this. Swing out. Develop an 8K. And then still a decent chance we could always vent next turn while having Sokka live. Then probably just gonna just pass, because again he's just trying a new strategy, I guess. Fair enough. Um Honestly, I think Sokka in the stage is probably best to see if we find different plays we want to do. I also think at this point hitting these weenies is like kind of negligible. Faster departure, play another stage. Probably just add another Sokka here. Not playing it this turn without Mama though. I think we should still go another stage first. Okay, I am gonna hit this. And then I do swing this because I do still want to pressure them, and they can put it sideways themselves anyway. Although theoretically, it's like not ideal to put it sideways when you're getting starved. But I think it's fine. But like, yeah, maybe we just shouldn't put it sideways there. Although I'm never expecting this play. And when we're getting starved like this like definitely just let this die. It's not really a big deal. It's not like we're under any pressure, and it's not that hard to refill our board. So we can just sack a Rosi Law here. Find another Sokka. Yeah. I mean, again, this is probably not that relevant, but I think the main thing to showcase this game is not defending that Sakazuki. When you're getting starved like this and you're not under any pressure and you have like good plays for the next turn, no reason to ever put it sideways. Here it's like 2 up Perona, Sokka the Zoro just so it can't hit us a bunch, even though we don't have Mama. We're gonna cycle right after we minus it just to see if we can find Mama. I'm just trying to get cards out of his hand to make Riplaw have more value, which is fine. But I should still like Sokka stage first to see if I find Mama. One swing probably isn't going to change whether the Zoro dies though. If I do, yeah, I think this is a mistake. Like we're swinging to get 2 more cards out of hand, so Riplaw hits 2 while he's at 7, which is fair. But again, I still think. Okay, yeah, I just sequenced this incorrectly. Because now I don't get any Dawn active after I play this Sokka. So this was just very bad sequencing. Like I should have been able to have active Dawn, even if I Sokka before doing all this stuff. Uh, like even if I Sokka, even after 27, I should be able to just play my Sokka and get enough active Dawn. But I just shouldn't be. I think the correct sequence is just start Sokka plus stage and see if we draw Mama, and then we can still do those swings before Riplaw just to get more cards out of hand to make Riplaw more efficient. But here, it is an awkward position for him, right? Because he's not even going to be able to stun my board. He's at 0 with no blockers. Just block that. Then take 6. Sure. I go 6 at 6 because technically his leader is 7, so 6 is smaller. That way my leader can still get a decent swing in here. And then I think I'm just so down to not YOLO game when I have this far ahead. Like technically, when they're at 0, you should just hit their life. But also, like his events only work for his life and not his leader, so it's like some arguments that it's okay to hit his Mihawk there. Cycle this out of here. I think I'm probably down to swing 1-9. Then probably just 8s. Okay, I do go another 9. Fuck it. It's not like we actually did the DMG, right? We have to counter 1 swing when we have 4 2Ks in hand. Oh, and we just float the blocker. That kind of helps play around Luna a bit as well. Although, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, so we just have to counter one swing. So we counter here. Counter like 111. It's fine. Um, yeah, I guess he was just testing the Zoro and Starving strat and seeing if he can just OTK with Zoro in one turn. But not too relevant, just somewhat interesting, different game. Figured I'd show it. Game two. Good hand. Double Navy Searcher plus Promo Law. Samurai Otama. Samurai Odin. Let's add Sokka. If we didn't have another Navy Searcher, we'd definitely add Marine Forward to find Rosi Law, but we do, so we'll take the Sokka. Start Samurai, draw 2. Kiku. So he was just testing it last game, obviously. This game, he decides go back to normal swing. We top deck the Rosi Law. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't clear these. Yeah, just because once he puts Kiku Nojo out, it's basically the same as stage. I'd rather have the weenie to hit whatever Asaka. But at the same time, if I'm playing another Kobe, I probably can swing one. Actually, yeah, I think it is correct to swing the Kobe. We can ignore the Perona, but might as well get rid of one of these. We don't even have the event, and then technically, if he wants to leader effect plus samurai event, he'll have to put one of his bodies sideways, which would be good for us when we don't have Mama. Okay, I decided not to. It's probably fine either way, but I think technically, because we have another weenie, it's probably best to hit them. That way, if he wants to leader effect, rest Kiku, and play a samurai, he has to um, rest an actual body. He does just rest Perona, swing 8. It's like kind of bait. It's interesting. Like it should just always be Kiku because it would restand. Like maybe he thought he would just go 5-5 for a second, but then decided 8's just better because it's basically the same. Curious what I decided to do here. Voice of Riplaw is like a good tempo turn, but it sets us back for next turn, so it's probably not ideal. I think you probably just play Sokka here on the Mihawk. Swing 5, I don't expect them to take. They don't want to go to 1 so quickly. Oh, they do take. Okay, well now I hit them to 1. Sokka the Mihawk, pass. Let's develop the 8K, turn that off for a turn. Let's just block a swing without putting our character sideways so we don't play into Luna, basically. So, like, even if we had Rosi Law here, it's theoretically better for that sense to play around Luna. And yeah, I think swinging at the weenie that turn or not really didn't make a difference with how it played out. We have a full board, they have a full board, they were going to play over it anyway, so it was the same stuff. He does decide. I think it's very hard for them to ever play around a second Luna. I mean, a second Sokka, because they're always going to be putting stuff sideways here. Here, yeah, I think I just blocked 2 because it's kind of it could be like an 8 or 9 after. I think a lot of the time. Swinging out my law is like technically just a bad play because I can always leader effect it, or I can just let it die. And if I let it die, that means I'm happy. So like you shouldn't even give me the choice. You should just hit my life. So we do Soccer Whiplaw this turn and clear a Mihawk. Go ahead and stage. Probably try to cycle this promo and just send the 8. Get 2 cards or a 4K event or the life, you know. We get 3 cards, so that's very telling, right? No events, no 2Ks left. Goes Beppo. Rest the blocker. Makes sense. Means he doesn't really have stun, which makes. I mean, he could have Luna, but definitely wouldn't have all out, I don't think, after countering that way. Now it's just like a weird question of how we want to deal with these swings. Decide to take the first one, block the second one, then see what he wants to do from here. Is it more 7s? It is. In case it was 6s, I wanted to block that one. Just take. The most this can be is 8. And if it's 8, he's probably just dead. Don't have 2K law, so just get that back. Probably add back the heal law. How do I start here? Start 9. Okay. And then he's just dead, right? He's very bricked. Like, you could definitely play another turn here, I think, as well. But maybe not. Maybe you die to DMG too often if you do that. That's probably possible. But he's always just dead when he had to give cards like that previous turn. And then final game. Finally have a different matchup. Gotta teach. Adds Burgess. I decided to wait a turn, potentially. I think I do, right? Or am I playing it? Okay. I think sometimes I wait a turn here. Just to play around the first life dot Q trigger. But I do also want to find a Rosi law. So theoretically, we have another searcher that we might need to play anyway, even though we obviously don't want to play Suru. So I start 5. If I ever take and trigger .q here, at least I get to replay a weenie to have for whatever. And then here, probably play Suru, as much as it's not ideal. Definitely want to find Rosi law. Don't know what I'm thinking about. Okay. I think I was debating whether I should just wait one more turn, because technically I have 2 Dawn to find it next turn. And I would have been rewarded doing that. I would have top decked it, but I think it's still like just correct to play the Suru now. Just take. I usually take the first 2 swings in this matchup. Then we find Mama, so now we have Saka Mama for next turn. Start 6. I think I'll just do this kind of awkward. It's definitely better. I should just go like 7-7 this turn. 7-7, put them to 1. It really speeds up the game in your favor to do that. You just like get punished by if you swing 7 with the promo law and they go Yeah, that's a very unfortunate trigger, but it's still fine. We just leader effect it. We can't just give up the body. And we have a promo to play with our Sokka next turn, which is good. But yeah, it's just very I do just counter this, okay. Surprised I don't just free block, but I guess I didn't want him to swing 7 when we're already at 1. If I was at 2 there, I think I'd definitely free block. But yeah, if you swing 7 and they negate, they get like the one trigger that the deck could play that negates your leader effect. It's just like unlucky, play Borsalino or something instead. But yeah, should just go 7/7, I think for sure. Last turn. Um, goes 6. He does leader effect. I guess the question is, are we ever scared to play Promo Law? And like, I'm basically never gonna be too scared to play Promo Law here. If they really want to send it and just gamble that I have no counter, then so be it. Should play over Suru technically. That's just a mistake, but yeah, surely it doesn't matter. Doesn't make a difference. Surely. I mean, we lost our 2K, but like, surely that wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, so normally if we're in this type of position, we'd like to be at way more cards in hand. But just because of that rally trigger, kind of had to give up a lot more cards earlier than we normally would have liked to. Go stage just to see if we find a mama. Do not find a mama. Still just gonna sock it. And I'm actually gonna go at this thing. Just to remove the body off the board because I plan on chump blocking the 10k. And then I think I want to hit the rally, just play more board control. He has Vasco. I should just go 8 at the rally though. I should just go 8/8. And then he can rest one of my promo laws and I can still float one to chunk block. So now I'm not allowed to swing my promo. So I should have just went 8/8. Then it's more likely to actually die. And if he decides to keep the Vasco on the board, then it's probably fine. The 6 was definitely a mistake. He does negate our blocker. That means at least our Sokkas get this win next turn. We do at least have enough counter to cleanly get out of these swings. Just a little low on cards, but we have double Borsa, so it's not the end of the world. We have potential lethal, right? We have 5 swings. He has 3 life, a blocker plus leader. So he can block, take, leader effect. Because we have rush law, he does have to actually counter a swing as well. But he still only has to counter 1 swing, so it's just not that likely. Go 5. And he triggers. He does pop our blocker and negate the Sokka. It's not a big deal. We still have a different Sokka. We'd like to get this Sokka's effect, at least get an active Dawn. But we'll see. Adds Vasco. 10/8. Just gonna block. If he wants to swing the teach, we'll block again. It's kind of good for us. Here, this is definitely greedy, but I think like we just died as a ha ha ha, right? The ha ha 10 cost, but I think if they had that, they would have like started 6 or 7 with their leader. So I don't think it's that crazy to just take there. Boas. And he does just go 12 life. This is kind of very greedy. I think it's much better for him to just not swing it. Um, but in his mind, he can take 2 leader effect 1, so he only has to counter 1 swing. So he probably has enough counter to do that, so he thinks he's fine. But it's still just like definitely, I think definitely incorrect. Because you could always block a larger swing. So even removing the 6k body is like not necessarily better. I'm not sure if it actually would have made a difference, to be fair, but then here it should, I'm like basically always sending games, so it should be 8. It should just be 8-8. But I think I send 7 mainly because I don't expect them to ever respect rush laws. So I'm kind of like just calling them out as a player. Not even as a player though, because like it's not even that common. But I'm just like, I don't expect them to ever 2-1 here when they think it's my last win. I expect them to leader effect a lot of the time. So kind of just like hoping he leader affects my 7 so I can swing 9 and catch him off guard. And he does. But like theoretically it should just be 8-8. Oh, I say that. I think, yeah, it would have been 8-8, but we drew Mama, so actually we were about to go 10. He didn't have the counter either way, so he couldn't even counter the 7. But yeah. A little bit closer game than it normally is against Teach, just because of that rally trigger, really. Gives him an extra body for swings, and took an extra life early, so I wasn't able to... With a boa trigger that played the rally, right? But took an extra life as well, so I didn't feel comfortable free blocking the 6 on that turn like I normally would. So I just had to start giving cards like 2 turns earlier than I normally would have. So I ran out of cards much quicker. But yeah, a little bit shorter video. This is probably gonna be like more so the standard. From now on, just like show like 3 ranked games, go over them quick, and yeah. Again, thanks for watching. Any questions in the comments, and peace.